Yeah. Let's get it.
Friends, the show had just begun.
On top.
What it do, what it did, what it does. It's your boy, Sports Talk with Ride Dog, the OG. We here with another episode 14, week 14. Hey, I got my player partner, my sidekick, my co-pilot, that boy 5 in here. Yes, sir. Hey, man, we got a special guest in here, T. We got,
I say
go
three,
ahead.
man. I don't mean to cut you off, man. I'm super excited, brother.
Super
I say,
excited.
man, this is my guy, man.
It's our guy. What are you talking about? It's our guy.
Yeah, right.
Man, he coached you for how many years?
Three, man, three.
He coached me for 3 too. My sophomore, junior, and senior year. So man, that's dope, man. That's dope. That had to be 4 for you then. It gotta be 4 for you.
No, he came my sophomore year.
Yep.
Okay, you're a year older than me. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
But,
For
man,
those
I'm
who
gonna let you
don't know,
introduce him, man. Introduce him, man, that we can get to it, man.
but the ones that don't know, we got the most winning basketball coach in Wascom High right now, Coach Griffen.
What's up? Good to see you.
Hey man, this man here got so much knowledge and he got me out of so much trouble, and I appreciate him. I thank you so much.
I said, man, I got mad love for the guy. When he got his hands on me, man, I ain't know how to be no student, brother. He taught me how to be a student, So
Man, so much game. But before we get into it, you can follow me on Rodney Sports Talk, OG on Facebook, and you can find me on TikTok, Ride Dog 245, and you can go like, subscribe, comment on my YouTube page, Sports Talk with Ride Dog the OG. Man, if you ain't subscribed, hit the bell, man. Let's get it up. What's going on, Tyke? Talk to me.
I say, man, like, share, subscribe, man. Sports Talk with Rod Dog, the OG at YouTube. Tap in with me on Snapchat, Ty the Dunn _02. Facebook, Tyrone Alexander. Let's get it. Let's go.
Man, Coach Griffen, I never knew your story, man, from day one as you was a pup, man. Tell me where you from, how you got to where you are, and what made you move to California with all this, man, this beautiful Texas weather.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll say this: I've been following you guys, been watching your last few episodes. I caught the last full episode with Large, and I like what you guys are doing. So keep it up and stay on the path. But for me, I was born in Karnak. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah. My dad graduated from Karnak High School in 1968. So that's where my roots started. And then my dad moved the family to Colorado. And that's where I started, growing up a little bit. And then we moved back to Texas. And that's where I went to high school, Sherman, Texas. And and Sherman played ball there. Okay player, nothing great. But I had a really good coach. Coach Hambrick was his name. And I learned a tremendous amount about basketball from him. My dad actually was an all-state basketball player. He was the stud basketball player, valedictorian of Karnak High School, and so he knew a bunch. And whenever we would come back from Colorado, he actually still had keys to the gym, and he would work me out in the Karnak gym.
That's dope.
So, all my formative years, that's where I'd get my workouts in the wintertime when we'd come back to visit family. But spent a lot of time there, and then went to college at Tyler Junior College for a couple years, and went to University of Texas at Arlington. That's where I got my undergraduate degree. And
You played ball there?
Oh,
Did you
no,
play in the golf?
No, I wasn't a good enough athlete to play.
So when you was in high school, you was playing basketball then?
Oh yeah.
So that's the only sport you ever played?
I I played basketball, did some tennis, did some baseball. I was a pitcher in baseball, point guard for the basketball team. I was surrounded with really good athletes in Sherman, and I had a good understanding of the game. So I would facilitate. I wasn't what my stat line was assists. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get my guys, the right guys, the ball, get them scoring, and then it was like have no turnovers. So I wasn't gonna put up a bunch of points. I might put up 4 or 6 points a game. But it was I think my sophomore year that they introduced the 3-point line.
Oh wow!
So before that, there was no 3-point line. So that's kind of letting you know how
Telling your age now.
I know that's how far back it goes. But yeah, so that's what I did. I just facilitated and made sure everybody was where they were supposed to be, and had some really good athletes around me. Jason Burleson, I don't know if you guys know, he was tight end for University of Texas. Played for the Cowboys for a little bit. He was on my high school team.
Oh, that's dope.
And he was a stud. But point.
So when you got to Wascom,
Yeah.
and you changed the whole culture. You kept the gym super nice, the football field super nice. You made us put on shirts and ties. You changed the whole culture. How did that make you feel that you impacted the whole, school like that?
Rodney and Ty, at the time, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about that. When I look back on it, I have a big sense of pride about that. But my mindset coming in, why I did all those things, was if you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel like a winner, if you don't look like a winner, then how in the hell are you going to be a winner? High school kids, they're worried about what they look like, what kind of shoes you got on, what your fit looks like, and from a coaching standpoint, if you take all that stuff out of it, and they're not worried about their uniform, not worried about your shoes, not worried about your socks, you look right, you look good, you look sharp, then you can think about ball. Then you can think about all the stuff that you need to think about. So from a coaching standpoint, I was like, I don't want you guys worried about that stuff. So that's why we had the Air Jordans. That's why we always had good good warm-ups.
How much was your cleaners bill? Because you stayed start your Archie, man.
I stayed start your Archie. Stayed clean, man. No, for real.
Yeah, that's back in the day. I had to get that iron out.
Oh, you wasn't going to the cleaner. You was ironing?
Nah, he was going to the cleaners, Rodney. And they was in that bag. He was going to the cleaners, man. Hey, say 3, that crease was too sharp. He was going to the cleaners.
That's cleaner. That was cleaners, man. You fresh out the cleaners.
And trust me, I know me and him was really, 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 really tight because not only was he my basketball coach, he was my position coach in football.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that was all 3 years that we were together.
Yeah.
Was that something you wanted to do, coach football, or you just was doing it because that was part of your job?
No. In Texas, man, you're coaching football. If you're a coach, you're a coach. So I love being around you guys. I love coaching you guys. So it didn't matter what we were doing. If it was in the weight room, if it was track, I loved it.
Oh man, I will never forget. Like, out of all the coaches in football season, I never heard anything positive like about a good play I made. You was the only coach that you said you reminded me of Steve Atwater. Do you remember that conversation?
I don't, but I'm glad that I said that, and I'm glad it stuck with you.
Yeah, that was because that's one of my favorite safeties, man. So that meant a lot to me.
Well, I appreciate that.
You got anything to type?
Yeah, Coach, you talked about your early journey. I want to talk about like as far as your early journey in coaching and coming to Wascom and being the first year head coach.
Yeah.
And the early success that you had.
Well, I'll say this that, and you guys may not know this, but my first couple years were at James Bowie High School. All right.
I know that. I know that.
Yeah. So so we had played Wascom, and I was in one of those situations where I was like, wow. I mean, there's some athletes. There's some people that can run, jump, and get it done. And when the job came open, I jumped on it because I still lived in Karnak at the time, and I was driving back and forth to James Bowie, which was an hour drive each way. And so when Wascom came open, I interviewed with Coach Jesrin and took that over. And Coach High was towards the end of his career, and I think they'd had some times where they were struggling a little bit.
Shout out Coach High.
Yeah, love Coach High. And Coach High was good to me as I was transitioning in. So he kind of gave me the rundown of how he saw things, and I was like,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm probably going to see things a little different, but as I transitioned in, it was what I saw was a bunch of hungry young men that wanted to have some direction, wanted to have some discipline, and didn't. This is something that I learned early was everybody had this reputation. That's what Coach High. Oh, don't. This kid does this, and he's gonna do this, or he stole this, or I'm like, I don't care.
Wow.
Right.
Come on. I want everybody to have a chance to get out on the floor. Now, when they made their bed with me, when they did something to me, when they did something that I saw, then that's when maybe we separated. But it also gave kids a fresh start, and that's something that I still carry with me, and I still remind people is that, I mean, when you're 16, you make mistakes.
Right.
That doesn't mean it's it shouldn't be a death sentence. You're a 16-year-old kid. You make a mistake, you learn from it, you go on. So as I transitioned in, Ty, it was I was super fortunate. I mean, think about this. I just was flashing back and thinking about, first team. All right, I had Billy Hamilton. All right, dollar bill.
Yep.
Big, strong young man. I can't remember his last name, but he played a little bit. Eddie, you remember Eddie?
Eddie
Eddie Harris.
Eddie Harris or Eddie Stevens?
Eddie Stevens. I'm tripping. Eddie Stevens.
Yeah, and he played early, but he was a tremendous athlete. He just didn't want to come to practice and didn't want to do the
Right.
Yeah. Scott Jones.
We talked about Scott Jones the other week.
Yeah, I gave him one of my. Yeah, he's one of my Wildcats.
And so, I mean, and I know, Ty, you were a sophomore at the time, and saw a lot of potential in you. Had Josh Oden out there, had Mike Myers. I don't know if he was on varsity at the time yet, but we had some people. Was Edgar was
Yeah. Edgar was on varsity. He was Edgar was a junior. He was a junior.
Yeah. So that's what I walked into. And the year before, I think they had won 3 games.
Yeah, we didn't win any games.
Yeah. And I was like, how in the world do we not win a game? With this crew, how do we not win? And so we just, focus on the fundamentals and make people feel good. And as you guys would say, back in the day, they're going to put some respect on our name. We're going
right.
And if they don't, we're going to handle up on them. So
yeah, I want to speak on there. Your man, you really came in with and we talked about it with Large, buy in. You came in with a family aspect. You were open. You were open to us. If you need this in this class, come to me. Let me see if I can get you some help. Or if you need a ride home, let me see if I can get you some help. Or and then you brought a winning mentality as far as basketball. You brought a winning mentality and just like you say, I had a good coach as far as playing basketball. So, and I won a lot of basketball games because of you and because of the guys around me.
Um,
And that year started.
Yeah.
you know how like Coach Mathis and Coach King was just in the playoffs together. They've been going back and forth when Coach Mathis was at Marshall and Coach Mathis at DeSoto right now, and Coach King been I don't know at Longview what 20 years. I don't know how long he been there,
Yeah.
but they've been going back and forth. And Coach King, they got it all on Facebook that he's the daddy of Coach Mathis.
Ooh.
Is that is that like a thing about high school? Do y'all keep up with y'all stats, or it's just it's all about the players?
No, there's. This is what I want you to remember: is we're competitors. We just,
Right,
yeah,
right.
we can't play anymore, but we want to win, and so yeah, we kept up with it. I mean, I remember Coach Boykins at at Karnak. I loved to beat him. I loved it. I loved it. And I loved. I don't know if y'all remember Coach Lloyd. He was an older coach, and like he won 600 or 700 basketball games. Great coach at Avenger. And
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Man,
some of that was some of my best games in average. I love that gym.
yeah,
mine too, man. I had some battles there. I had some battles there.
yep. And so
What
I always
about
kept. Go ahead.
what about Maynard Chapman?
Yeah,
Uh,
Chapman.
Elysian Fields.
yeah.
Elysian Fields.
So it was interesting that when Coach Chapman and I first met, I mean, it was just straight competition. We weren't we weren't giving each other any love. There was no like mutual respect or anything like that. It's kind of, and he was a little older than I was, and over time, after you engage in battle with people, you have to you respect them. He got me sometimes. I got him sometimes. We probably ended up even um, out of all of our career. But I think that he was used to coming in and taking care of Wascom, and then for a decade, he knew that they were going to have their hands full.
So when y'all pass out film, do y'all have conversations like we gonna do this? Is it just a friendly conversation or is it very competitive?
Well, see, basketball is a little different.
Okay.
You don't trade film.
Okay.
So, but there's
I
this.
thought I see we watched film on. I thought we did that.
Well, yeah, yeah, there's always now every game gets filmed,
Uh huh.
but sometimes your hands ends up on those films. So
Got you.
yeah, so those of us and the ones that took it serious and were competitive, we'd help each other out. So there'd be times where there'd be other district coaches that you may have a relationship with, and you'd be like, "Hey, I'll give you this film, you give me that film," depending upon your schedule. So yeah, we try to get a look at everybody, and
Got you. Because I know he was watching. I was like, nah, I remember watching film.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You had so when you came in the game fresh, so they was like, who this young coach, man? You had to make a name for yourself, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Wascom was my first head coaching job.
Yeah.
So, and oddly enough, Rodney, it wasn't about me, and I didn't really feel like I had the ego. I just wanted to compete, man. I just
Gotcha.
wanted, and so it really, you may not, from my point of view, I'll just say that from my point of view, it was never about me.
Gotcha.
It was about you guys and the time that you had to shine because, and I probably told y'all this, like I'm gonna coach long after you're gone. You got
Yep.
to take care of your business during your time.
Right.
I'm gonna have as many chances as I want. I can coach as long as I want to. So, I never felt like it was about me.
Speaking of that, you can coach as long as you want to. Are you coaching now? Are you active now? Or?
No, I stopped coaching when I left Wascom.
Okay.
So when we moved out to California, I got into school administration. I'm a superintendent of schools. I was telling Rodney that I'm a school about the size of Marshall, so a larger school, and been here for 14 years.
I see your son. He's like in Marco Polo. What's that? That's what you call it?
Water polo.
Polo?
Water
Yeah,
polo.
Water polo. Water polo.
yeah, water polo. Yeah, he
How,
when he was young, he was a fighter. He was in Taekwondo and did martial arts, and actually was number 2 in the state of California. Um, and so he was doing that. So he lost out on a lot of skill building time when it comes to basketball and football because he was dedicated to that. But he's a black belt, and he can hurt me, and so I try to listen to him.
so you say the lives you impacted, like when you was a coach here, man. You touched a lot of souls. You made it easier for my parents. They ain't had to worry about taking me home after practice. You took me and said home every day after practice. Well, I thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. How did you feel when Joseph Champion dressed as you as for Halloween? Was that like a salute to you that he look at you as somebody, a mentor, or what? How did that make you feel?
At the time, it was just like, it was funny. At the time, you just kind of like, oh, that's nice. But when I look back on it, it touches me. So
He kind of looked like you too, bro.
I know. I had him by a few inches, but
He had you. He had you.
yeah,
Um,
it was good. It was good.
Coach, I don't wanna tell you to pick no favorite. I can just call a few guys that I know you coached that were phenomenal basketball players, and my peers. You mentioned Scott Jones, but I want to mention this guy Edgar Flippin,
Yep.
and we call him Mr. 2010.
Mm-hmm.
How did you create that?
Oh, I didn't create that. I didn't create that. Edgar was.
But I watched him in eighth grade. He was a monster in eighth grade. His freshman year, his sophomore year. But when you got your hands on him, he just turned into like he was. He dominated eighth grade. Ninth grade, like you say, Coach, I was kind of at the back of his career. He didn't really put time into him, but how did you create that? The rebound and scoring. If it basically, hey, if you don't look down here, I'm pulling you out of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll say this, and because I know you guys are grown men now. You've been watching lots of ball, and you know this. When you put people in position to be successful, that's when they're successful. If you don't put them in position to be successful, then it's wasted potential. So if you think about this, and you can think about all the sets, so I'm going to give you just like some insights into my brain at the time. We weren't great shooters, right? So where was Edgar? Edgar was always on the backside, always on the backside. So I'm putting him in position to get those backside rebounds, because it's easy to seal and pin under the basket, get that rebound. And what did he do? He kept the ball high. We worked on that over and over and over.
Right back up.
Right back up, and he was quick with it. So
Coach.
instead of working him and saying, look, we're going to just go through him on the post side. No, we're going to have some sets where he keeps him on the backside, and then we're going to let the shot happen. And if it goes in, great. And if it doesn't, where are we going to be? We're going to be in position to score. So a lot of those sets that we would run were putting people in positions to play to their strengths.
Yeah. I ran plays when I was coaching at Boys and Girls Club.
Can't stop it.
That muscle was a bad boy. And Oklahoma was a bad. I remember all them plays.
Arizona, that high pick and roll with me and Edgar, man. Come on, man.
Yes.
I had my biggest game off that play in Avenger tournament.
Yeah.
Give me your 5 Wildcats, any sport. Your top 5.
That's a tough thing for me, Rodney. I mean, I can.
You got 5 now, coach. Come on.
Well, here's the
Well,
problem.
give me 3 then. Give me something.
Well, I'll give you something, but it's tough for me because it depends on what you're talking about. Like, I mean, you look at
Athletes that you can call on. Give me the ones you can call on.
well,
That's always making plays.
ones that I could call on.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. I'll throw out some names, and I'm not
Go
going to
ahead.
say
Go ahead.
these aren't.
No order. There's no order.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Always love being around and coaching Edgar.
Okay, that's one.
Love being around Said.
That's 2. My cousin.
Yeah.
Shout out City Pooh.
Yeah. Tyrone and I, we bonded as soon as I got to watch.
That's 3. Tyrone made the 5.
Hey, say, man, that's my guy, though, man. Hey, say, man, like, and I don't mean to cut your list out, Coach. Like, a lot of people like have no idea the relationship we have, and I wanted to ask you something, but I'll wait till later because it's personal for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. I thought Kevin McDonald was a heck of an athlete.
Oh, he done made the list twice. Yeah.
I appreciated Chris Randolph. I appreciated his mind.
That's 5, coach.
And yeah, I mean, but there's tons. David Reason could run like the wind. You got Scott Jones. You got Tommy Reason, who in the backfield you could.
You got some athletes.
Yeah, I mean, and you have guys like J.J. Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, and even into the later years, some of the guys that maybe not run fast, jump high. I mean, like, and he could. Nicky Kennedy, he was strong. I mean, there's a ton of guys that I don't know. I just love being around.
What about Woodpecker? I'm surprised you didn't name him.
Say Woodpecker, Adrian Cherry, he can play. He can shoot. He used to play off the ball.
And see, and he's close to my heart too. He's one of the guys that I bonded with. Spencer Wells, I love being around him. He'd always sit and watch film. He was like Tyrone. Tyrone would always sit and we'd watch film together, and we'd go through things and we'd talk and talk about game. That's the way Spencer was. But he's a little guy.
Coach, when you used to talk to us before we sitting down there getting ready to scratch and you used to talk to us. You know what used to get me hyped though?
What's that?
When you used to name my little quotes from different coaches, little sayings they say. Yeah. They used to do something to me. So you give me your Mount Rushmore, give me 4 of the quotes you took from coaches.
Woo.
Cause you had them.
Woo.
Or maybe the coach.
Or the coach. You ain't got to say the coach. Look, you got to give me 1 quote and give me 4 coaches.
I'll give you one quote, and I still use this one today. If what you've done, if what you did today seems big to you, then you must not. Or what? Hold on. Let me start over. If what you did yesterday seems big to you, then you haven't done much today. And that's Coach K.
Coach K.
Yeah.
That's your top guy, ain't it?
Coach K and Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight.
Yeah. I like Bobby Knight because he was fiery, knew basketball. He wasn't gonna put up with anything, and he probably wouldn't, and I probably wouldn't survive in today's game. Yeah,
because it's weak as tea water.
You don't miss it at all.
Oh,
hey, say 3. He say that's weak as tea water.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I do regret. Some of the things that I might have said to you guys that might not have been the nicest.
Oh man,
I think that's kind of what these kids missing. Like,
yeah, Yeah.
When I go watch these babies, they have no fire. No, they don't play the game with any emotion.
Yep.
It's like they just, and you see it with the coaches too. Like ain't somebody make a play, nobody jumping up and down on the sideline, chest bumping.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I don't know if y'all have heard this saying. It's a longer saying, but and it's something I believe. Soft times build soft men.
Huh.
Hard times build hard men.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's you got to create the conditions for things to be hard. So that's why when we line up on the end and we do our thing, it wasn't about y'all being in shape. It's about making this strong. It's about making you hard. It's about standing up. That doesn't have anything to do with your wind. That has to do with you standing with your shoulders back. Because we knew that
Being a man.
Yeah, it is. It is, and things
Being
will
a
get
man.
hard, and it's what you do during those hard times. So, yep.
How you feel about the college football playoffs? Do you think they got it right this year?
I don't think they'll ever get it right, Rodney. I think there's too many factors that go into it. I think they're getting closer. They're closer than they were last year.
It's better though.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel
They
like
moving in the right direction.
I agree.
We'll say
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, I think they're going in the right direction, but it's tough when you get a conference champion in just because they're a conference champion, and then you don't reward teams with strength of schedule. If you're in the SEC, I mean, it's a dogfight every week.
Every week.
So it's getting better, but we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out.
The championships game was all down to the wire. Almost all of them was. So it was competitive.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, it's. I think that's what they did. I think they made it more competitive. By adding the teams, yeah, you can look at it as they doing it for ratings, but you can find out who better with 12 teams than you can with 4 teams because that's why you play the game.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to play, because both teams are on the same level, if you're not ready to play, you can easily walk in here and lose.
Yeah. But you're gonna get some of those first round games. Somebody's gonna get the brakes beat off of them.
Right.
I think SMU probably struggle a little bit.
I think
I feel like
Kevin
Clemson-
Jennings gonna make a name for himself, Coach.
Who's that?
Kevin Jennings, the quarterback from South Oak Cliff. I think he's gonna make a name for himself.
I hope so.
I think
What?
I think
Because
Clemson.
he came back. He came back and brought them boys back in the game against Clemson.
Yeah. I don't. That's why I say I don't think Clemson that good. They
So
haven't been in a while.
Who you picking to win it, Coach? Who you picking to win it?
Well, I'll say this first off. I don't have teams, and I really don't. I might gamble a little bit, so I got teams that I like that week. But I think Oregon's going to be tough. I think they're going to be tough to handle. And
I don't see it that way. I've been trying to tell him all year.
yeah. The only thing that I'll say, Rodney, is that they seem to the Pac always like everybody gets all hyped up and then they fade. So that's the only part of me that's kind of like, man, I don't know, is this going to be the same as it always is or not? But they're set up to do something.
Yeah.
I think man is I think it's Texas year, man.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but
nah. There you go. Choke artist.
Choke out.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they do well, just for the state of Texas.
So why you moved to California on us, Coach?
When about the same time that I was getting ready to move, we had a son, so I had my son, and my parents had moved out to California a few years earlier, and it's kind of one of those things where I was in a position to be able to move. And at the time, my wife and I both, I don't know if y'all remember Miss Christie.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Yeah, of course, of course.
yeah. We just made a decision to move and kind of start over, and I got into school administration, and we just went there. But it really stems around. We wanted my son to be around his grandparents. I'm an only child. He's an only child, so my parents didn't have any other grandkids, and I just wanted him to be around my mom and dad.
I forgot to ask you something. As a young head coach, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff. I want you to talk to the young coaches. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, we was all going to high school. We used to hear little fly stuff, little slick stuff that the girls was liking on you. The little high school girls was liking on you. You know, you was that guy, that coach that the little girls had a little.
He was sharp. He was sharp.
So, can you get these young coaches advice to lead these kids, and you know what I'm saying, keep this mess going, stay in a grown folks place, leave these kids alone.
Yep.
And how to move out the way and wiggle through all that turmoil, that bull.
I'll tell you this, and it is tough when you're a 25-year-old and you got an 18-year-old senior that's trying to come on to you and all that kind of stuff. I had a coach that pulled me aside my first year, and he made me tally up my entire salary for my entire career. And so it was, however much money it was. It was a lot of money. And I think if you tally up like a teacher's salary for their entire year, it's 7 figures, all right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, is this G-rated, PG-rated?
Oh, man, we can talk. You can cook.
It's whatever rated.
Fine, coach.
So that coach pulled me aside, and he had me do that. So I'm 23, 24. I'm doing all this stuff, and I said, all right, coach, this is what it is. And he said, let me tell you something, son. Ain't no piece of trim worth that amount of money.
Yeah.
So keep your pecker in your pants. And
right.
For whatever reason, that stuck in my head, and these young guys, it's a power thing. They've got control, they got power, and they take advantage of it. And there's just no place for that in education. They need to be run out of education. They need to be run out of coaching. And there's just.
So think about the money, not your pickle.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's all you gotta do.
If it ain't about the money.
Cause one of y'all test my daughter, I'm risking it all.
Yeah, it
Coach,
ain't worth it, so. Yeah.
Coach, you were talking about your high school coach, man. And I told you I want to talk about this because we had a personal relationship. Man, I sat and soaked up a lot of information from you that made me a damn good basketball player. And not athletic, couldn't jump high, couldn't run fast, but a damn good basketball player. And taught me how to be a leader. First, I'm gonna apologize for failing the UA when I was a senior, and I felt like I let you down, and I felt like you looked at me a different way after that. That's just part of me being a man.
Yeah, I got you. I appreciate it, and I'll say this, that you didn't let me down, Ty. It was one of those things where I wanted the best for every single one of you guys, and so that's the part that hurt me. It was like, damn, you've been working hard, you've been doing all these things, and now you're gonna miss out on the fruit of all your labor. So, and if you felt like I saw you in a different way, that's not what I intended. Never. That would not ever be what I intended. But I won't say that it didn't happen because you saw it that way, so I don't discount it.
No,
But
no, no. You never treated me different. Maybe it was the way that I felt about the situation.
maybe.
I say I let you down, but I let my teammates down as well. I'm a senior, I'm a leader. We just come off a playoff. We just come off a run to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I almost district champs.
Yeah.
What you drinking in that cup, man? You get in your feelings.
Man, you'll be surprised, Rodney.
I love it, man. I love it, man.
Not this go around. I want to make sure I was together because this my guy, man.
I know it, man. I know it, man. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we gonna get in this subject, man. For you know what I'm saying, want to share the tip, man. Oh man, give me your top dog, T.
Oh man, let me flip through these notes here. My top dog, man.
You
I
watched the
got
show,
Sam Darnold,
so
man.
you know about this segment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I got Sam Darnold, man. My top dog. He had he was 22 for 28, 347 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he got them guys rolling.
Yeah, he
Uh,
do. How you feel about his top dog, coach?
Uh,
Did you watch that one?
I didn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still just tough for me to get behind him. I don't know why.
Yeah, I gotta see him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I gotta see him in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyke.
offensive player, man, was Matthew Stafford.
What? Not Josh Allen?
I ain't say, man. Hey, he did that.
What?
He
This
was
dude did something that nobody's done. You a Bill Mafia finna kick you out the clan, man.
Say,
Done.
man.
You done.
You can. They can kick me out if they want to, but check this stat line out. Check this stat line out.
Okay. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it back to you.
23 for 30, 320, 2 tutties.
Yeah. And a 44-42 win over the hot Bills right now. You know they
Over
finna
the hot
start,
bill.
you know they finna start going down like they always do. December it's just December, man.
I say, man, you know, I told you what they gonna do. They gonna win a whole lot of regular season games, get a wild card and lose. I already know what my team gonna do. Now don't do that because I don't want to get it to the Cowboys now.
Oh, we gonna get into it. We gotta get into it. It's on the right.
My defensive player, man, was the young fella Ernest Jones. He had 6 solo tackles, 1 pass deflection, one interception. He a Seattle Seahawk, man. And my mud, man, I ain't got it in my notes right here.
And you might well just give it to old boy from Dallas, man. How you learned this from Pee Wee football? Get away from the phone, man.
Pop water.
Yeah. Lord, he deserves it, man. Everything to come to him because, bro, that's not professional football.
It's not.
My top dog is Josh Allen. I had to give it to him, man. The man did 22 for 37, 342 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 3 rushing touchdowns. It wasn't him that lost the game. He had no turnover. It wasn't his fault they lost the game. It was the defense.
Defense.
My offensive Sam Darnold. My offensive player Sam Darnold. My defensive player is Nick Cross from Indiana. Colts. Indiana Colts. He went 8 solo, 10 tackles, and a forced fumble.
Yeah.
My mutt, we already said the mutt. And then my coach K. My coach is Coach McVay because he came back and beat the Hot Bills. Man, how y'all let the Rams beat y'all, man? Y'all out the top 5, man. You can't be a player.
You talk about top 5.
And lose to the Rams.
Give me a top 5, man. Come on, give me a top 5, man.
The Lions my number 1, 2 the Chiefs, 3 the Vikings, 4 the Steelers, and fire the Eagles. And they got turmoil over there, so they finna start going down too. You can't be
Man,
airing out dirty laundry and think you're gonna be a team to be deep in the playoffs. It's too late in the season to be doing all that. Y'all supposed to be coming together. Ain't that right, Coach? They used to tell us come together like butt cheeks.
That's right.
I say, man, that's really selfish of AJ Brown.
Yes,
When
yes.
you winning games, that's really selfish.
Yeah,
As a paid competitor, to get on TV and call out the guy that's helping you win ball games.
he really didn't call him out though.
To get you extra money.
He didn't call. He didn't. What you call made it bigger than what it is. Graham made it bigger than what it is. All he said, what's lacking right now is our passing offense. He didn't say. He could have just been like, we need to get that going more. He wasn't calling. He just maybe calling out the coach. Call some passing plays. I don't know what it was, but he just said that's the only weak. He wasn't telling the truth. That's the only weak thing in their offense is the passing, because the running game's going. So you get both of them going, you're gonna be a team to be reckoned with.
What we doing right now?
There's something wrong with what he's saying. If you get interviewed, coach. Now we're gonna talk to the coach. Was there something wrong about him saying it's the passing game?
The pro game is different. They got so many egos and they're so soft inside about stuff. So I don't know. You know how I am. If it is, then talk about it, be about it, and if you're on the other side, suck it up.
Yeah.
So
as a coach, how did you feel about it? If your player reach out and just, is he throwing the coach under the bus or the quarterback or he just answering the question as an interview?
There's probably if from a coaching standpoint, I'd probably be more like Belichick and say
Keep
we
it
need
in the
to
room.
keep our business our business, and let's not talk about it with everybody else because it's going to get spun. It'll be a distraction. It's rat poison.
But it wasn't even him. Graham, the one says it's a problem between both of them. He didn't say he had a problem with Jalen. Graham would made it messy.
This is my thing. After a win, not so good win or a loss, you don't air that out after that.
Right.
You just don't. Hey, say, look, matter of fact, I take a fine. If I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, I take a fine before I go out there and put guys that I got to go to battle with. Even a coach, even though you didn't say any names, you said the passing game. You in the wide receiver room. You got to work with this quarterback, or even the second string quarterback. You got to work with him. You got to work with the quarterback coach. You can't do that. People don't want to work with you because keep in mind it's a professional game and it's a job. So you got a bad attitude. Nobody wants to work with a bad attitude. Nobody wants to coach a bad attitude. Nobody wants to play with a bad attitude. You can't do that. You go to the coach, say, Coach, man, let's run some of these. Or, hey, say, Jalen, let's see if we can get some of these. Check me on this. You be a better teammate.
Yeah. Coach, you was there when the Randolph area, when we was a run offense just like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Was there ever a conversation when y'all, amongst y'all coaches, to say, throw the ball?
Yeah, there was. There were a lot of conversations that took place, and as coaches, you don't always agree what behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. So you look and you scheme each week, and you say, this is our best chance, or what you think your best chance is to do things. But it's when you, and I know everybody there's been some time that's happened. So we probably remember things a little bit better than what they might have been, or maybe we remember things a little bit worse than what they really were. I don't know, but
if you didn't got soft now, you didn't got soft.
Hey, them babies got his
You used to say what's on your mind. You didn't.
Hey, say now he do.
He done learned
You You see what he said? You gotta have this.
Yeah, he's superintendent now.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I'll say this.
gotta read in between some lines to really get what he trying to say.
Yeah.
If your line struggles, then you're gonna struggle to throw a pass. If your receivers struggle to catch a ball, you're gonna struggle in a passing game. If you know, I mean, and if your quarterback can't hit spots in pressure, then you're gonna struggle to establish anything. And
So that's what it was.
I mean,
Football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Football is the ultimate
combination
team
of things.
sport.
Combination of things happen, and I remember more about basketball than I do about football. But you know, I remember coaching defense more than I do coaching offense. So you know, I had my defensive ends, and that's what we did. We did our business on the outside, securing the edge, and
Hey, man, we're gonna rock out every time.
Yep, gonna take them on.
Your top 5, and let me get Coach up out of here, man.
Man, my top 5, man. I got the Lions. I got the Chiefs at 2, cause they win wasn't pretty. I got the Vikings at 3, the Eagles at 4, the Steelers at 5. No Bills, man.
Give me your last word, Coach, man. It's good to have you, man. Give me your last words.
Well, I don't know if y'all can see that, but
Look at 5. I can have 5. Look at T. You see me? You gotta move it to the left. Move it to the left, Coach. That's me.
I see you. I see you.
Hey, Coach got on my top one time. He said I look like Doc Rivers, man. He said I look like Doc Rivers in the Pistons, man. Rivers. I said, man, you tripping.
Oh, man.
Coach is rank, man. Y'all don't. That's what I'm saying. Coach is giving me business, man.
Trust me, I know. Hey, say, man, Coach, before we let you get out of here, man, I love you, brother.
Love you, man.
I love you.
I appreciate y'all.
I love
y'all
you.
too. Yeah.
I love you, man.
Raw dog out. Gee.
Yeah. Let's get it.